Hello everyone, back with another video. Today I'm going to be responding to a video by the Goldman on YouTube, and I need to clarify something. Whenever I make these response videos, I'm not attacking the person that I am responding to. I'm mostly looking at their videos themselves. I do insult someone, but it is not simply for the fact that is my point. I insult someone to burn off steam because I can get pissed off. Yes, surprisingly, a 13-year-old can get pissed off. But for my thoughts on the Goldman himself, I think he seems like a pretty good dude to talk to. However, he has dropped some massive tears in the past if we're talking about videos, such as his How the Clones Date the Prequels video, his Mary Sue video, especially how Rey isn't a Mary Sue. That video is really bad, and no, I will not respond to that video. If you guys do want a response to his Mary Sue video, then I will leave a link in the description below to a playlist of a response of the Mary Sue videos. So yeah, I'll just leave a link to the description below if you want that. But like I said, I'm going to be responding to his video on how Anakin from the Clone Wars TV show apparently saved Anakin Skywalker as a whole. Oh, fuck, this will be good, because as you guys know, I'm a massive prequel fan. I love the prequels, and I love Anakin Skywalker. He's not my favorite Star Wars character, but I do certainly really like Anakin. So, hearing something like this, I am entirely interested in. Anyways, let's take a look at this video. Oh yeah, so I should probably mention the fact that I'm gonna be skipping over all his positives, which is the first 2 minutes of his video or so, mostly because of the fact that I don't think they're necessary, because I'm just gonna be responding to his criticisms of the character, not his positives.
When an emotional person loses their only emotional anchor, they will explode. But this is where the problems begin. Padme is the emotional anchor for Anakin. We are told this many times throughout the movies, but we are never shown this.
Oh, fuck off. Dude, we are literally shown this. In the scene you literally just showed, we showed how much he needs Padme. When he's looking over Coruscant. We also see it in the scene on the balcony in Revenge of the Sith, when he came back from what we can presume to be several months from the Outer Rim sieges. We see how much he missed her, and also several other scenes in Attack of the Clones.
Remember, the story of Anakin Skywalker is supposed to be a tragedy. When Padme's life is at stake, we should feel the urgency and pain that Anakin feels.
We do.
When Anakin fights Obi-Wan, we should feel the tragedy of two brothers turning against one another.
And we do.
When Anakin kills the Jedi, we should feel like this is a betrayal from Anakin against the people who raised him for 13 years.
And we do.
But we don't.
Okay, first off, fuck you. Second off, are you implying that this is for all three of those claims I just made? Because if so, this is some of the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. Keep in mind, I wouldn't care if he said this, if he used words like I or something like that, but he's using words like we, which is utter horseshit, as he's implying that he's speaking for everyone, when in reality he doesn't.
How come moments like this
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
feel more like memes than they do tragic moments? Anakin is killing innocent children, yet we laugh. This is because the trilogy hasn't earned these moments.
No, 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 no. It's not because the trilogy hasn't earned the moments. It's fully earned them. But the reason that people laugh, I don't laugh at that stuff, but the reason that some people do is either because they're ass clowns, like red little fucking media, or because of the fact that the delivery of the line from that kid, I'm gonna be honest, he didn't do that great of the delivery. That's one of the reasons that people laugh. Also because the cinematography of the scene. I mean, if you look at the scene, it's basically directed from, you can see Anakin's lightsaber being ignited with half of Anakin, and then you can see the yelling jump. That is just, it's because of the cinematography of the scene. I know that this point doesn't make much sense, but believe me, it is one of the reasons.
We don't feel the tragedy of Anakin and Padme's relationship because it's been nothing but crazy movies.
And who decided that it didn't work for everyone? You? Bullshit. Also, not to mention, you act like it's been crunching the entire three movies, when you only showed one scene, and in the context of that scene, it makes sense, as there are several things for that scene, and the dialogue.
This relationship is similar to Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship. We don't feel the tragedy of brothers fighting each other because their relationship is also not properly
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get into the worst part of this fucking video.
built. In The Phantom Menace, they spend close to no time together, and Obi-Wan pretty much sees Anakin as a burden. In Attack of the
Yes, because he has attachments to his mother. Obi-Wan sees Anakin as dangerous as Anakin has attachments, which could potentially lead to falling to the dark side.
Clones, they argue with each other the whole time, and when they're apart, they continue to complain about each other.
What do you mean they only argue the whole time? This is just untrue. You're just lying at this point.
You know I don't like it when you do that. Sorry, Master. I forgot you don't like flying. I don't mind flying, but what you're doing is suicide. And you proved if you'll excuse me. I hate it when he does that. I was beginning to wonder if you'd got my message. I retransmitted it just as you had requested, Master. Then we decided to come and rescue you. Good job.
And there was many, many more that came from. And as for whenever they're apart, they apparently just complain about each other. Well, first off, Obi-Wan never complains about Anakin. He's busy focusing on his mission. And with Anakin, yeah, why wouldn't he complain about Obi-Wan? He was fucking pissed off in that scene as his mother just died in his arms, and he feels like Obi-Wan was holding him back. And if Obi-Wan wasn't holding him back, he could have saved his mother and like healed his mother. What, like, you act like there's little to no reason for Anakin to complain about Obi-Wan, yet you completely forget about everything around it.
And while Revenge of the Sith does a decent job with establishing the relationship, it is a little too late.
Nope. I literally just give you a couple examples from Attack of the Clones, and also, I would like to say that in Revenge of the Sith, they have a shitload of banter, more than they do in Attack of the Clones, and Attack of the Clones they do have quite a bit. I think the reason he doesn't realize that they have banter is because of the fact that their banter is in the first act and the final act, because for the second act they are separated for the two plot lines going on, so I think this might be the reason that he doesn't see it. But come on, man, you gotta pay more attention to these films.
And lastly, Anakin's relationship with the Jedi Order is non-existent. Besides Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, he has no relationship with any other Jedi. We do get this complicated relationship with Mace Windu, but that's it.
Okay, this was one that I'm pretty mixed on at least, because of the fact that, yeah, we don't get many scenes with him in the Jedi Council, but we don't need to. We only need a few scenes, and we get those perfectly in Revenge of the Sith. Now, whether you want more or not is a different question. Personally, I'm happy with what we got, and I think it actually serves the story really well, and I would argue we don't need any more.
So the scenes where Anakin killed the Jedi are emotionless because he has no relationship with any of them.
I'm honestly kind of confused what his point is here, to be honest. But I will make of it what I will. Alright, so just because we don't see a lot of the scenes with them doesn't mean they aren't emotionless. Besides, we don't see much of him raiding the temple. We mostly see him killing younglings. Killing children, I will say. We do get a couple of deleted scenes, but I'm not going to count those because they are deleted. Specifically where he kills Shakti.
This is one of the reasons why Anakin Skywalker as a character in the films just doesn't work. The trilogy doesn't put in the legwork to earn these moments that, on paper, should be really...
Well, the trilogy does work, and it does put in the legwork, and the scenes are still emotional.
So when Dave Filoni, the creator of the Clone Wars, was tasked with writing Anakin Skywalker, he had to ask himself a few important questions. 1. How can I add gravity to Anakin's actions in Revenge of the Sith? 2. How can I strengthen the relationships that surround Anakin? And 3. How can I completely change the negative perception that surrounds Anakin Skywalker? So where does Filoni start? Well, for one, he completely reworked the...
And Dave Filoni did it quite well, except I would argue in a couple areas, not all of them. I'd say that he did enhance the relationships for the characters, and he also did a good job with Anakin Skywalker. And I do love Anakin in both the Clone Wars and the prequel trilogy. The point of this video I'm making is simply because of the fact that he's saying that the Clone Wars saved Anakin, which is bullshit. But, I would argue that he is too stable in the Clone Wars show, so it makes his dark side turn slightly less convincing for me. It was very convincing in the prequel trilogy, and he does certainly enhance it in a few areas in the Clone Wars, but he's too stable, I guess. That's kind of my issue with him in Clone Wars. He's still very good, but I'd say it makes his dark side turn slightly less believable.
Entire character. Anakin went from this whiny teenager to this more masculine, heroic version.
Oh, fuck you. Have you ever thought about the fact that Anakin had literally been seduced from his emotions for 10 years in Attack of the Clones? Also the fact that his mother died in his arms. Have you ever thought about the reason why he was whiny? Have you ever thought about any of this, Goldman? Please tell me, because it seems like you haven't.
Matt Lanter's voice is much deeper than Hayden Christensen's voice, and this allows Anakin's more emotional moments to be impactful rather than annoying.
Okay, please do tell, because his emotional moments are not annoying, not for me at least. And again, they're completely justified considering Jesus Christ, I'm a stuttering shithead, the circumstances.
Another aspect of the character that Filoni works with is completely separating Anakin from other Jedi we've seen before. In the films, we are told that Anakin is one of the most powerful Jedi ever, but again, we are never shown this. For 2 movies, most of his fighting is done destroying battle droids. He loses 2 out of his 3 lightsaber fights, and even during Order 66, we only see him murder younglings and no mature Jedi.
Okay, I have a few things to say here. First off, let's think about battle droids. Yeah, nothing wrong with them killing battle droids. In fact, a lot of Jedi died from the battle droids. Also, think about him losing lightsaber fights. Well, he lost the fight against Count Dooku because of the fact that Count Dooku had more training than him. Training! Training! Not that race stuff, by the way. He had actual training. And as for him losing the fight against Obi-Wan, he lost it as he was on the dark side, so his arrogance got over him. That's why he lost the fight against Obi-Wan. And in terms of Order 66, well, this is fair enough, I guess. I mean, we again, in deleted scenes, he kills Shaak Ti, but it wasn't an epic lightsaber fight or anything. And again, it was deleted, so that's fair. But you say we never see how powerful he is when Count Dooku. He kicks Count Dooku's ass. He literally cuts off both of his hands, then his head, which is something other Jedi have tried to do to kill Count Dooku and have failed. You need proof? Well, watch Attack of the Clones.
He is put on the council, which is supposed to be this great honor, but what has he done to deserve such an honor, and what separates him from the other Jedi?
Did you skip over the second act over Revenge of the Sith or something? Because he only gets put on the council not because of his power level, Palpatine even mentions this, but because he has Palpatine's trust, and they needed Anakin to basically spy on Palpatine. That way they can see what he's up to. This is why he was let on the council, not because of his power level. It's because of his trust with Palpatine. They explain this in the fucking film.
One trait that was heavily focused on in the Clone Wars was Anakin's recklessness. At almost every opportunity he gets, he disobeys the Council for what he feels will be a more effective plan. It even becomes an ongoing joke with the other Jedi throughout the series.
Disobeying the Council, your expertise is.
So, why does this work? Why does the audience see this trait as admirable and not irresponsible? Hell, in Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan tells Anakin that he will be expelled from the Jedi Order if he leaves his post to go save Padme, but he does shit like this all the time in the show. It works so well in the show because Anakin provides.
Yes, he does provide results, but there is opportunity for results as they are at war with the droid army. Please tell me what results would have happened if he jumped out of the gunship to help Padme. What would the results have been? Please tell me.
Results. In almost every scenario Anakin is in, he succeeds, often due to his recklessness. Had he been losing all of his battles, the audience would start to question why he is even still part of the Jedi Order. But again, he provides results.
But again, what would the results have been if he jumped out of the gunship? Please tell me what the circumstances and benefits of that would have been.
Another layer that is added to Anakin's recklessness is his inner darkness. Oftentimes, he simply goes against the Jedi Code to get results. He tortured Poggle the Lesser to get. Most recently, he did the same to Admiral Trench. He even goes far enough to describe Jedi values as a weakness. These moments help the audience buy that Anakin will eventually betray the Jedi and become Darth Vader.
Now, this is where I'm actually inclined to disagree. I love Anakin in the Clone Wars, don't get me wrong, but I'd actually say his turn is less convincing with the Clone Wars, as in the Clone Wars he seems a bit too stable, I guess. I mean, he has his moments where the dark side definitely works for him. Like the Mortis arc, I think, is probably the best example for Anakin to turn to the dark side, not feeling out of place. But usually whenever he does turn, it feels out of place, for me at least. It doesn't exactly feel consistent with the rest of the characters that we do know in the Clone Wars show. Whereas in the prequels, he shouldn't be a very conflicted person, but in Clone Wars, he seems, again, too stable.
Now that Anakin's fundamental character has been one that is far more compelling, how are his relationships with others affected throughout the series? The relationship that we probably see the most of throughout the series is Anakin and Obi-Wan. Even in the Clone Wars movie, which pretty much sucks, the relationship is infinitely better than in the trilogy. They have this banter between them that instantly feels more real than what we get in the movies. Just listen to these few exchanges.
You're alive. And where's your lightsaber? It got knocked out of my hand. By a rock? Yeah, by a rock. Silly thing. It was just working a minute ago. You don't suppose it was hit by a rock, do you?
Oh, fuck off, man. They literally have a lot of banter in Attack of the Clones, as I just showed a few minutes ago. I give you a few examples, and they even have a lot of banter in Revenge of the Sith. You even said this earlier in your fucking video.
Well, R2 has been...
No loose wire jokes.
Did I say anything?
He's trying.
I didn't say anything.
Are you coming, Master?
Oh no, I'm not brave enough for politics. I have to report to the council. Besides, someone needs to be the poster boy.
Hold on. This whole operation was your idea.
Let us not forget, Anakin, that you rescued me from the bus droids. And you killed Count Dooku, and you rescued the Chancellor, carrying me unconscious on your back.
All because of your training.
Anakin, let's be fair. Today you are the hero, and you deserve your glorious day with the politicians.
All right. Well, you owe me one, and not for saving your skin for the 10th time.
9th time. That business on Cato Nemoidia doesn't count. I'll see you at the briefing.
And again, there is much more where that came from.
When we hear Obi-Wan in A New Hope say that they were good friends, he means this, and not this.
Oh, fuck off, dude. You completely ignore all the context around the scene. You fucking ignore all the context with this shitty video of yours, please. Look at the fucking context. They were indeed good friends, and you see that in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, as I literally just showed you a couple examples of banter between the two.
Furthermore, we start to see the trust build between the two of them, something that was clearly lacking in the movies. When one of them does something that the other may disagree with, there isn't any tension because we are shown how much the two trust each other. Obi-Wan lets Anakin continue to be reckless because he truly trusts him.
Yes, in Attack of the Clones, for a good portion of the film, Obi-Wan doesn't really trust Anakin, but why the hell would he? Anakin clearly cannot control his feelings and clearly has attachments to others. Why the fuck would Obi-Wan trust that? I mean, they even bring up in the Phantom Menace. Also, I'd like to say that at the end of Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan does eventually trust Anakin a bit. Although it's not exactly jammed in our faces about it.
Aim right above the fuel cells.
Good call, my young Padawan.
Rex believes that one of his clone brothers, Echo, is alive, something that the other clones and Anakin feel is quite crazy. Anakin wants to help Rex, but he doesn't believe Rex will find what he's looking for. Anakin proceeds to talk with Padme and expresses how he is struggling with the situation. Padme tells Anakin how since Rex always puts his trust in Anakin, that maybe he should return the trust to Rex. It's a valuable lesson that Anakin learns from and proceeds to trust Rex throughout the episode. The reason this is so important is because we see whenever Anakin is struggling, he turns to Padme, and she provides him with the emotional support he needs, something that the Jedi Order do not provide him with. This is what was lacking in the films. We begin to understand why Anakin is so dependent on Padme and why he loves her. So when her life is at stake, we can empathize with him and his choices.
I will actually partially agree here. While I don't believe that we necessarily needed to know why Anakin was falling in love with Padme, because we see that fine enough in the films, the Clone Wars definitely does do a good job at expanding on his relationship with Padme, and also his relationship with Obi-Wan.
The last relationship I want to talk about is Anakin's relationship with the Jedi Order as a whole. I should preface this by saying that we don't need to see Anakin have any grip relationships with other Jedi. Besides Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, there are no other Jedi during the Clone Wars that really mean a lot to him. We should see him being cordial to his fellow Jedi, and we get that throughout the series. But what we need to buy from Revenge of the Sith is that Anakin is willing to murder these people to save Padme. Now, this is extremely challenging. It's not easy to turn a good-hearted man into a murderer in the time frame of a single movie.
Hold on, what the fuck did you just say?
It's not easy to turn a good-hearted man into a murderer in the time frame of a single movie. It's not easy to turn a good-hearted man into a murderer in the time frame of a single movie. It's not easy to turn a good-hearted man into a murderer in the time frame of a single movie.
Now, maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but did he basically just say that Anakin's turn is not in all three of the prequels? No, again, maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but I'm gonna go on a tangent anyway. Anakin's turn was literally in all three of the prequels. Yoda said in The Phantom Menace, fear leads to anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. This is the path to the dark side. In The Phantom Menace, Anakin is terrified to lose his mother, and Attack of the Clones, it's anger because of the fact that Anakin's mother literally died in his arms. Revenge of the Sith is hate as he turns to the dark side, and the entire OT is suffering as he has lost everything.
Number one is definitely how the Jedi handled the whole Ahsoka situation. I don't want to go too in-depth with this because I do plan on making a whole video about Ahsoka in the future.
If the video is anything like how the thumbnail makes it look, then you better not, I swear to God.
So if it is out, I will provide the link. But to sum it up, the Jedi thought Ahsoka was guilty of placing a bomb in the temple. Even after it was revealed that she was innocent, she ultimately left the Jedi Order because the Jedi couldn't trust her. This was definitely a huge experience for Anakin. Ahsoka was like his little sister, and to see her walk away from the Order fundamentally broke Anakin. In one of the unfinished episodes, we actually see how much this hurt Anakin. He even expresses to Ahsoka how he understands wanting to leave the Order. Moments like these help the audience understand why Anakin is starting to distance himself from the Jedi. So it goes to show how far the Clone Wars actually went to better Anakin. It fundamentally reworked him into a much more likable person. It strengthened his relationships with all the other characters in the prequels. And most importantly, it added emotional weight to those tragic events in Revenge of the Sith. And those are the main reasons why the Clone Wars saved Anakin.
Wait, it's over? It's finally over! Oh my God! Yeah, it's finally over. I do apologize that I cut out some stuff in the video. I mostly cut it out because I felt like it wasn't necessary to the main argument. If it removes some of the context, I do apologize, but I felt it wasn't very necessary. Also, I apologize for about halfway through my voice or my mic audio just completely dipped out, simply because of the fact that I'm recording this like 2 in the morning now. So, yeah. Anyways, that's gonna be your first video. I hope you guys enjoy. You probably didn't because my cringy ass voice. Goodbye.